Hello and welcome to the Run It Back show on the Raptors Republic Network. I'm Kyle, joined by our boy here, Coty. We are without Zolfi this week. He is over there grinding, but we will keep it going without him just for this week. Hopefully, we can get all three of us back together soon.
We got to stop saying that. It's every week. It's like one of us isn't
yeah.
here, but hey, we're rotating through. So maybe we're bringing guests on. It's
It
just
keeps everyone coming back for next week. Like, okay, maybe three of them will be back next week.
yeah.
But how you doing, Cody? How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Happy to be talking to you. I missed you last week. Zolfi and I went really long, so try to be more concise today. But it's nice to talk to you. How are you doing?
It's been good, man. It's been good. I'm currently in delusional mode because the Lakers are down 3-1. So I
Oh,
fell
we'll
to my
get there.
knees yesterday. I fell to my knees.
We'll end with the playoffs. I want to ask how you're doing. We'll get to your Lakers, but it's Raptors. We're starting with Raptors.
Of course. And as you guys did last week, got into a little bit in depth with the player reviews, and I know you guys went over the core of barbecue. But this week we will be diving into Jakob and Gradey, and I want to start it off with Gradey. So I'll let Cody. I'll let you take the floor here. How have you been thinking about Gradey this season? Has he impressed you? Any pros, cons? What are you thinking?
Yeah, hey, please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps.
True.
It helps us, and obviously, we think we do good work.
Yes.
If you think we do good work, it would help us to help you, or help you help us, something like that. So appreciate all the love. Yes, Gradey Dick. He interesting year for Gradey. Obviously, started it on fire. He was kind of stepped up into a primary option to some degree once there was a lot of injuries to begin the year. And through those first 28 games, he put together quite a good chunk of games, just under 18 points, 3.5 rebounds, over 2 assists, and a steal throughout the first 28 games. 35% from three isn't the highest, but that was on 7 attempts, and he had a pretty difficult shot diet. So it was encouraging stuff to me. Obviously, it tailed off towards the end here, and everybody kind of noticed that. And when I talked to Darko, though, he told me the expectation for Gradey was not to sustain that level of play throughout the season. He told me he's only 21, and he needs to continue working on his body. And that was going to be the big thing this summer, is continuing to work on his body. And that's kind of been the story of Grady's career thus far, is working on all that, because it'll help him round out his game, right? I mean, where he drastically needs to improve is his conditioning, finishing around the rim, and defense, right, Kyle? So that working on that body, I think, will help him on that end. But I guess that's kind of Grady's season summarized pretty quickly. He also missed quite a bit of the year after getting hurt on March 2nd. God, that was I rewatched that for this. Jeez, he takes a shot into the face from Cole Anthony. And then RJ Barrett falls into his leg simultaneously.
It was
so
nasty.
It was great start of the year for Gradey. Tailed off towards the end, then ended with a brutal injury.
Yeah, he was cooking at the start of the year, I guess, because guys like RJ, Scotty were all out. So he did what I didn't really expect him to, but he stepped up into that role. It's only his second year, which is fairly impressive, because when I was just looking at his stats too, he shot around the same amount of 3-point percentage from last year, but on 2 more attempts. So the fact that he's shooting the same on more attempts is pretty good. Honestly, it's hovering around 35-36%, but his points went up. I see he's moving without the ball, but he is gradually getting better. And like you said, he does have to work out finishing around the rim. He does have to work on his defense. But I think, honestly, those things will come over time. Hopefully his defense does improve to the point where he's making an impact on defense. He's not going to be like a lockdown defender, of course. I don't expect him to be Kawhi out there, but I think overall the natural progression of his points going up, the confidence going up, the stamina going up, he's doing what he needs to do as a second-year rookie. He took all the steps to be better, and even when the chips were down, the core was injured, he took on that role of hey, this isn't my team per se, but I'm gonna hold down the fort while these guys are gone. He did that with confidence. He was almost scoring at will out there. Overall, impressive season for me. I'm not going to come down on him too hard. We know what he has to improve going forward, but from this season overall, I thought he looked good. If I had to give a grade on it, I'd give him a B+.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why in the offseason, the Raptors were looking to maybe make a big swing, that Gradey was reportedly considered untouchable, right alongside Scotty Barnes to some degree. So, and I just want to clarify, these numbers I was saying earlier with what he averaged, that was through the first 28 games. I guess we said counting stats, what he did on the year as a whole. He ended his sophomore season 14.5 points, 3.5 rebounds, nearly 2 assists, almost a steal, shooting 35% from distance and 41% from the field. Zolfi actually did some work pointing out kind of some context among sophomores, how well that is. He finished 5th among sophomores in scoring, 4th in 3-point makes per game, over 2, and 7th in minutes per game, nearly 30. So one of the most productive sophomores in the league. Again, he's only 21. I feel like some people feel like he's like a finished product, which is not the case at all. So I know he didn't sustain that play for the whole season, but I'm still on the Gradey stock. He fits perfectly alongside Scotty Barnes as a movement shooter, just 3-point shooting in general. He has the size to get a shot off. It just needs to continue to round out his game. And like I said, Darko, they clearly know what they need to do is continue to work on his body. And I think that'll help round out with everything that he's kind of lacking right now.
No, I agree too. Like I don't know how people could look at him and be like, okay, this is what we're getting going forward, because it's only his second year and he is getting better. He overall is getting better, especially if we have a fully healthy, hopefully we do have a fully healthy team next year. I can see him easily coming off the bench as a 6 man. They can slide him into the shooting guard position. They can move him around. With Gradey, his game is so versatile in a way where if we need shooting, we could put him in the starting lineup. If we need that spark off the bench, we can help him come off the bench. So overall, like, yeah, this is nowhere near the finished product. He showed so much flashes of his potential again especially in the early 28 games too, to show sometimes he's put the ball on the floor and just took it to the rim. He was drawing fouls too. We've seen the flashes of how he has more than just a shooting element to his game.
Yeah, I think he's established a floor of what he can be. And say the defense doesn't get any better, which I don't think is true. Say he doesn't finish around the rim any better. Say the conditioning still isn't quite there. I think his floor is still a high volume shooter off the bench on a really good team. I think that's what is right now, and that's what he's going to be in the future. We were talking about it, Zolfi and I, with the barbecue episode last time, about each one's role with Brandon Ingram now in the lineup. So I want to hear your thoughts. I mean, with Gradey shooting, he kind of fits alongside anybody, but how do you envision his role next season with Ingram in the fold? Now there's the ball, there's only one ball to go around, and Gradey, when he was showing his best, he had the ball in his hands and he was able to do some more stuff. So how do you envision his role?
That's what I was thinking too, because it's really hard because you have a lot of guys that need the ball kind of in a way to be successful, with RJ Barrett, with Brandon Ingram, even with Quickly Scotty. A lot of them are going to be holding the ball. So Gradey's role, I think, is going to get impacted in a way where I don't want to say he's going to get reduced to a 3-point, like a catch and shoot guy, but I feel like for this team to be successful, he has to accept that role of either, come off the bench, let me provide some spacing, move without the ball, cut, backdoor, like find a way to get open without the ball, catch and shoot, because I don't think he's going to be having the ball, like have the ball enough to where, I can make plays with this, unless it's like a quick give and go type situation. But I feel like for him, he's got to assume that sort of Kyle Korver, JJ Redick type situation, especially with adding Ingram to the team as another scorer, because I just don't think there's enough ball to go around unless they like tweak the lineups and they have like Scotty sitting, RJ sitting, and then it's maybe him and Ingram on the floor or something like that. But I don't think he would have enough to where the point where he can be a decision maker.
Yeah, rotations will be interesting to monitor next season, because right off the bat, Emmanuel Quickly, Scotty Barnes, Brandon Ingram, and Jakob Poeltl are locked into the starting lineup. I think it's possible that on game one, opening day, Gradey is not starting for the Toronto Raptors, which I don't know if I necessarily would agree with, but I think it's between him and RJ, and who knows what pick the Raptors get as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good guards in the range they could be picking. I mean, if they get the number 1 overall pick, then RJ and Gradey, frankly, will both probably be on the bench at that point. But so we'll see. But the good news is, whatever his role is, he can fit into a lot of things. And I think what he showed this season is he can scale up. I think there was a lot of question. I think I have no problems with him scaling down. Yeah. I think his game is perfect for a scaled down role, but I think we showed some flashes this past season of him being able to scale it up and have a little more creation. It's just, once he continues to round out his body, what level is that creation going to get to? The handle obviously could be improved as well. Never been the main focus of his game, but I I love him as a player. I've seen people be down on him recently, especially with the Raptors really addressing that guard position last draft with Jacoby and Jamal. So even Jamison Battle kind of I don't know, kind of they play a similar style of game. I know Grady's a bit more dynamic, probably a little more, probably a bit more than a bit more dynamic than Jamison Battle, but you know what I mean? There's more competition, and he's going to have to continue to improve to continue to be head above those other guys. But I think competition breeds good things, eh?
Yeah, no, definitely. Honestly, seeing what I saw from Gradey, in his first season in the 905 and coming into this season, we know there is a lot more to his game, and I don't think we'll just see like, oh yeah, this is the final product. But for me, I didn't expect him to start going into next season just because of how many people like the star calibers now we have on our team. If they switch him out with RJ, I'm not going to be too mad. I don't want RJ to get the wrong idea. Like we're kind of like moving him to the bench too, because then we got to figure out, if there's chemistry issues or anything like that. So that's why I expected him to be the sixth man for the team. But then again, taking into consideration who do we draft? Did we get a top 5, top 7? Hopefully, then that changes up things even more. But I feel like with Gradey, I feel like he has his place on the team. Even if we were to draft like a high pick, he knows he can provide scoring off the bench. He knows what he does for this team. He knows his role isn't like the star player, the franchise player. He knows what he can provide, and his talent alone is highly sought after in the NBA, especially being able to catch and shoot. If his defense especially develops as well, he'll be coveted up there, with like guys like I'm blanking on his name. He's on the Rockets, Eric Gordon, catch and shoot players like that. Things like that. Everybody wants players like that on their team. So Gradey, as long as he continues to improve, shows what he can do, I think he has a good future with this team overall.
Yeah, and it's not even just the catch and shoot; it's the movement catch and shoot with him that he's like you can bring him off all these different pin downs, stagger screens, whatever you want to do with him. So, I also want to mention he had a good Rising Stars event. Led his team in scoring with 12 points during the game. So, Gradey Dick, you give it a B+. I'll give it around there, maybe a little bit lower, a B, just because room to improve, and then the injury, we didn't quite see him finish the year. So the injury is not his fault, but a B. Want to move on to the big man in the middle?
Yes, sir. Jakob. Overall, I honestly was impressed with Jakob this season. Again, I know we're dealing with the injury bug for pretty much everybody on this team, but like just looking into his game, this season was one of his highest scoring seasons yet. He was averaging around 10 rebounds per game, and if you go look at it, like he's just around or just outside the top 10 offensive rebounders in the NBA. He's sitting at 11th right now, I believe. So he did his thing with this team this year. He brought the defense. And when he sat on the bench or when he wasn't in the game, you could see our defense was highly affected by that. Like our inside was getting just slammed overall. And when I was watching some of these games, not having Jakob on there, to either be in the right position, fighting for these offensive boards, boxing out the other bigs, his defense alone was just creating a hole in our paint, and he was really missed. So I know a lot of people, it's kind of 50-50 on Jakob because we did trade for that first round pick, but he does have a place on this team, and he's fairly important to our defense.
Yeah, he is really, really important to this team wanting to win games. This season alone, Toronto was 6-14 without him in the lineup, and then they're 10-42 over the last 2 seasons without Jakob in the lineup. So he is so important, and he had a monster year. Like you mentioned, career highs in points, rebounds, and steals. 14.5 points this season, nearly 10 rebounds, like you said, nearly 3 assists, 1.2 steals. He hit that quarter 3 later in the year, which was cool as well. He had a really good year, and he opens up so much for everybody on the team, specifically with IQ. I would love to keep seeing more of that pick and roll with Quickly. A little 2-man game with Scotty's also been there in some degree with Scotty's the ball handler. So just he does so much, especially on the offensive boards as well, giving the Raptors more possessions. And then defensively, I mean, he's the best. He's the best rim protector, I'd say, on the team. Scotty's really good, but Scotty's for his rim protection is more of that scraper kind of behind the play, fly over and swat it. Jakob's just more sturdy. And then, I mean, yeah, if you take Jakob out, who's there?
Yeah,
right. So
exactly.
I love Mobo, and we'll get to him in a future episode, maybe the next one. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, he had a great season, and they need a proper big. And for now, he's a great option on a completely fair salary, like just under 20 million. That's what a starting center, an above average starting center goes for. You could argue he's top 10 centers in the league. Maybe not. I don't care. He's getting paid fairly. There is long-term questions about him, though. And I want to ask you, because he's going into his age 30 season. He's clearly not on the same age range as the Raptors. He has a $19.5 million player option after the season. So I think it's realistic he opts out and looks for one more payday in the final stage of his career. So that begs the question, do you think he finishes the year on the team? Because I think you're going to have to pay him. And I think he's a likely candidate to opt out. So you're going to have to pay him, give him one more payday. He doesn't really fit the age, you know what I mean, the trajectory. So, I mean, what do you make of that? Do you think he finishes the year on the team? What would you do?
I think going forward, like first, let's see who the team drafts. I could think just want to see before we get into if we should keep him, trade him, extend him. But right now, I think his value is kind of at an all-time high. Like, just throwing out there, if the Lakers had Jakob right now, they probably win this series. They probably get another game on the series. That's how much of a difference he can make on teams like this. He might not be able to stretch the floor, but his defense alone, his offensive rebounding, the pick and roll game, like all of that is so valuable, especially going to his 30, like being age 30. I don't see him long-term on the team simply because, like you said, he doesn't really fit the ages on here. I feel like for him to, he wants that payday. He wants to play for, or either be on a contending team or play winning basketball at a point. So I would see, depending on who we draft, maybe we flip him. But honestly, I think it might be safe to say that he might not return after, like he might seek a bigger payday, simply because his talents are at an all-time high right now. His trade value is at an all-time high. He can get the money whenever he wants, wherever he goes, because his talents just are needed on so many NBA teams right now.
Yeah, I wonder how high his value actually is, because I feel like front offices kind of know, like, okay, he did take let me just confirm. I believe it was a career high in field goal attempts this season. It was.
Yes.
And it was the fourth lowest field goal percentage he's had. So I think maybe teams just understand, hey, he just had more of a role with injuries. I don't know actually how high the value is, especially as a pending free agent now. But like you said, there's a lot of time until the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Who knows who the Toronto Raptors will draft? I know Common Malawash is a hot name right now. But yeah, lots of long-term questions, but there's he's just so solid everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? And
he's been great for the team overall. Like the pick and roll with IQ has been beautiful. His defense has been great. Like the rebounds alone, just finding out that he could have been top 10 in offensive rebounding, not even just regular rebound, offensive rebounding. It just shows you how much hustle he puts into the game, how much he makes a difference when he's on the floor, and then when he's off the floor, it's just kind of like, we need a big man. We need a big man, and he's great.
Yeah, and I think he has. I fear he might have more value to Toronto than other guys, just because of the on-offs with him. And like I said, 10-42 without him in the lineup over the past 2 years. If the Raptors' expectation is to be good next season, what do you do with him? I think they need a long-term solution there. Yeah. But anything else on Jakob Poeltl?
Nothing really. Like, again, if I were to cap this off with a grade for him, I want to go like B plus A. I feel like A minus, maybe A minus B plus, around there.
I mean, yeah, he had a really good year, so I totally I can get behind that. I can get behind an A.
Yeah.
All right, so do you want to check in on the playoffs?
No, because I was on my knees yesterday. I'll let you go ahead first. Man.
No, I'm prompting you. We're ripping the Band-Aid right
off. Oh my god, bro! You know what?
Anthony Edwards is a problem, and he's such a dynamic shot maker, man. He hits literally everything. He's able to get to the paint when he wants, and he's able to dish. Randall's been pretty solid for them. everybody's around. Naz Reid's hitting big shots in Game 4.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll let you go here, but I mean, I also, and then the Lakers play like the first time ever that 5 dudes have played a whole half in a playoff game.
Like, bro,
What do you make? What do you make of that?
This whole time I'm watching, so I'll put my delusion aside and actually like put on my basketball journalist hat for a second, because I see what they were trying to do, because last year, the way they beat I think it was the Mavericks that beat the Timberwolves, was they doubled Anthony Edwards and forced him to make plays, and he wasn't making the right play at all, or he was throwing it out of bounds, or they were just leaving him open because his shot making wasn't as good as it was this season. So I saw that the Lakers were trying to do the exact same thing, but it's like Anthony Edwards, just you see the elevation. He's making the right plays out of that double team. He knows exactly who to pass it to. He's making them pay for leaving him open. He's making his shots. And I don't know what's going on with JJ Redick's thought process for not playing the bench in the second half. I don't know if we're trying to gas out our players there. I don't know what's going on with that. The defense is kind of looking sluggish. Our decision making is kind of crazy. So overall, the Lakers, they're costing themselves this series with weird decisions like that. Weird, like LeBron going for the FU3 out of nowhere. Come on, bro. Like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah, that was a bit of a tough shot. I mean, Austin Reeves did get a solid look towards the end of the game in the corner as well. Yeah, I because those 5 guys for the Lakers are their best 5 by far. Like those guys, that's their best lineup. It's just that you could tell the legs were gone by the end of the game. It looks like I thought they were going to get the ball back when Anthony Edwards it looked like he turned the ball over there and LeBron got a piece of it. But yeah, what they're saying around online, they had to pull out the UAV or whatever to get that angle of LeBron hitting Anthony Edwards' wrist. Anyways, Lakers down 3-1. I wouldn't count them completely out yet, but
it's over. It's over.
I mean, yeah. It's scary for Los Angeles, as a lot of people, including you, had them going to the NBA Finals. But yeah, these Timberwolves, and Anthony Edwards is a playoff performer. He is stepping up right now, and he has been so dynamic.
Do we think this is LeBron's last season?
No.
Or is it one more? Do we think?
I don't know. I genuinely don't know. But it's coming close, right? Like, it's coming close. He just put up 41 in game in game 3, I think it was, maybe more he put up. So I think he's still got a lot left in the tank. It's just
they need to make better improvements to the team, bro. Like, going into the season before the Luka trade, I didn't expect to even get into the second round. And then we added Luka. Yeah, we're second seed, but bro, we need a big man. We need better defense. I don't even know if the Mark Williams trade went through, if that would even made a difference in here. Just just Anthony Edwards, he realized what he did wrong last year, and coming into this season, they tried the same game plan, and he just made them pay for it. He showed how he's elevated as a player and advanced over the last year, and he's been great. I can't even complain.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. DFS was also a big pickup for LA.
Yeah,
but unfortunately, they find themselves down 3-1. Let's stay in the West. Thunder sweep the Grizzlies.
Oh yes.
I mean, any thoughts on that? It seemed, I mean, after that, I think it was 51 points.
It was
in game 1. It seemed like he was destined for this. I mean, Grizzlies made it close in game 4, but Thunder, the first team to advance.
I mean, according to Ja, he said if he never got injured, he had them figure it out, and the series would have been 2-2 right now. I don't know how true that is, but it just, the Thunder just had their number, man. The Thunder are the number 1 seed, or the number 1 team in the NBA for a reason. Their defense is fantastic. Like, for the first couple games, Shai wasn't playing that great, but the rest of the team stepped up with their defense and their offense. Like, I think it's just a foregone conclusion, man. Like, the Grizzlies were going to lose the series. No one was really believing in the Grizzlies.
Yeah, the regular season numbers for OKC were crazy. Obviously, Memphis had some injuries there, and not much else to say. We've talked about it before. Thunder 4-0 sweep, first team to get into the second round. They're waiting the winner of the Nuggets Clippers, though, and I mean, this is probably the best
series right now.
Yeah, like, I legitimately, it's a toss up every game. What have you made of this one? Because it's been a fun one.
It's been so wild, because the last game the Nuggets still ended up winning, but the Clippers had like a 15-2 run in the fourth. They flipped the switch out of nowhere. So it's been back and forth. I personally had the Clippers winning in 7, just because of the Nuggets firing the coach, Jamal Murray being up and down. We don't know like where they're gonna go from here, but it seems like the Nuggets just they still got it on them. They still know how to, like hold the tempo on these comebacks. They still know what they're doing. That Aaron Gordon buzzer beater, though, that was crazy, bro. I didn't because it was like already in the net, and I don't know if that was. I guess it counted, but like it was so hard to tell when I was watching it live because I'm like, there's no way he got that in right at the end, man.
Yeah, I still don't understand the rule
Exactly.
But yeah. Anyways, Aaron Gordon does that. Jokic had a monster game to win that. 36 points, 21 rebounds, 8 assists. He's fantastic. And then it's Kawhi, man. Kawhi has been playing well, and I picked the Clippers in 7 just because I bought into Kawhi a little bit, and if he's there and Harden's doing his thing, I thought Zubac could do a decent job on Jokic as much as anybody can. They got good defenders around them, Chris Dunn. So I didn't mind LA, but yeah, we're going back to Denver now for Game 5. So
it's gonna be such a good. Is it today? Is it today, right?
I don't know. Let's check.
Because I think it's today, and then the only game tomorrow might be Lakers and Timberwolves.
Yeah, today's only Cavs, Heat, and Rockets, Warriors. Okay. So they play tomorrow, a 4-game slate. We're recording this on Monday, so yeah, Rockets and Warriors are the only game in the West playing tonight, and I guess we can go to them because Steph Curry has been cooking,
going nuts,
and that's with no Jimmy Butler. Like I picked the Warriors to win this. I think they're a bit of a popular upset pick just because of Houston. They're still younger, they still have their own things they're figuring out, even though their defense is really good. Big time Curry performances. Jimmy Butler, this is without Jimmy Butler. He left Game 2, missed Game 3. I think the thought is he's going to be back tonight, which is massive for Golden State. But yeah, 2-1 series lead for the Warriors right now.
I was going to be, if Jimmy Butler was out of the series, if I was a Warriors fan, I was going to be so angry at Draymond Green and Draymond Green after he shoved him into Jimmy Butler. But, it's been like, I feel like everyone counted out the Rockets, man. Just going into the series, I didn't hear one person say the Rockets was going to win this. Even though they're a young team, they have fantastic defense. It just gives that, 60-win Hawks vibes, or the time the Grizzlies, like 2 seasons ago, were like the number 1 seed. So I know they're a great team, but I feel like the Warriors, their experience, Steph Curry going crazy, the defense of Jimmy Butler, like especially if he comes back tonight, they're just a well-oiled machine. And I feel like, again, they might wrap this up in 5.
Yeah, they're still their rotation is so wild. Like they don't even have a rotation. It's just all year Kerr's just been consistently like flipping guys in and out. Like I couldn't even tell you, but like it's somebody out of Quentin Post, Gary Payton, Pods, Healed, Moody, Kuminga hasn't even they're trying to figure out all of that. Even Pat Spencer comes in and plays his first game and puts up 11 points. So Draymond's also been good as well. But yeah, their rotation's wonky, but it's working.
It's working.
They're figuring it out. Warriors up 2-1. Final series. Oh no, that's all the West. Yeah, all right. We can flip over to the East.
Yes.
I mean, Cavs Heat.
Yeah, that's done. That's done.
Yeah, it looks done. The Heat had a couple moments of maybe, but I think Cleveland is just too much of a tank right now.
Where do the Heat go from here though? Like, say they get eliminated, what are the next steps for this team? Because they obviously can't run this back. Yeah,
I think they just gotta keep it on building, right? Like it's almost a build from the middle. Obviously they are still trying to make moves, but I mean, there were 8 teams below 500, and it wasn't the best year for Bam Adebayo.
Yeah,
wasn't the best year from Jaime Jaquez. But I like getting Wiggins back in the Butler trade. Kel'el Ware showed really good things as a rookie. So Tyler Hero obviously took a big step up as well. So they got pieces. It's just maybe another year or 2 away from really being back because they just traded Butler, right? Butler kind of threw a wrench into their plans.
That is true. So overall, I guess we just know the Cavs are going to win this. It's pretty much a foregone conclusion. This would be, unless they pull off some sort of upset. Either way, I think they're winning this series. It's going to be a sweep or a gentleman's sweep at this point. And then heading over to the Pacers and Bucks. Unfortunately, Lillard did tear his Achilles, I believe.
Yes.
Which is prayers up for Dame. I loved Dame's one of my favorite players, but it sucks too after coming back from the blood clot in his leg and then this injury. It's tough, but seeing this series, Halliburton has been fantastic. Giannis is giving it his all, and I want to ask you, even coming to today, is this the last time we see Giannis in a Bucks jersey after the series?
Yeah, I don't know. Long-term questions in Milwaukee, but he's doing everything he can. He's leading the playoffs in points right now with nearly 34 a game on nearly 63% from the field.
Mm-hmm.
He's been so good. It's just everything is failing around him, and yeah, you gotta feel for Dame. That's such a brutal draw for him after coming back from the blood clots after a really short time because they caught it so early to tear his Achilles.
Yeah,
they kind of went all in on getting Dame, and now it's resulting in a probably 5-game exit.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I think people might have been sleeping on the Pacers a little bit. Zulfi was all over them. Credit to Zulfi. He made sure that the Pacers should not be getting disrespected here. And yeah, it looks like it's going to be a Cleveland and Indiana second round series, which would be interesting to say the least matchup wise. But yeah, the Pacers just kind of running them out of the gym.
It was an insane stat too, because before the Bucks won that other game, that first game in this series, like I saw a stat where it's like the Bucks haven't won a playoff game since 2022, and I was like, "There's no way." There's no way that's true. But I checked in, and it was true. So I don't know. I feel honestly, if they do lose this series, Giannis might leave, and then where does that leave Dame? Because Dame wants to play for a chip, and if Giannis is gone, he's going to be back in the Portland situation where they're solid, but they're not going to do anything. So he might want to ask out too. So I feel like, yeah, there's a lot of questions in Milwaukee after this. But hype for the Pacers. I love Halliburton. I do still think they lose to Cleveland next series, though, unless some sort of upset happens, which I wouldn't be mad at.
We'll see. The NBA second round is I love it. I mean, the first round in the NBA can get a little boring. I feel at some points, but this year specifically has been. I feel like it's been really good.
It's solid, yeah.
Because even we'll go to the Celtics Magic now. Orlando and Paolo Banchero put up more of a fight than I thought they would. Yeah. I mean, Banchero's been great, 32 points a game for them on nearly 50% shooting, and he's been lighting it up from three, which has been big for them, nearly 44%. What have you made of that series? And that's Celtics. I mean, still up 3-1. Tatum missed a game, I believe, just one. Yeah. But yeah.
Like they have been fighting, and the Magic have like sneakily been getting better and better over the last few seasons. So I feel like if they add a few more pieces, like and continue to develop, like they're just showing us what they can do. Paolo's been great. All these guys have been fantastic. I don't think really anybody expected them to beat the Celtics. The fact that they got one game off the reigning champs is credit enough. If they get two, even fantastic. But I think tomorrow night they're playing, so I think they wrap it up right there. I think they get it done ASAP.
Yeah, I think Celtics in 5 would be, when you look back on it, I'd be like, yeah, I can see that. Even though I do think Orlando, put up a better fight than people. At least I would have thought. At least I would have thought. But I mean, looking at it, they have the size and those bigger wings to kind of match up with Brown and Tatum. You know what I mean? So.
And then we got the Knicks and Pistons over there. I honestly thought this could have been tied. I think it was yesterday they played. I thought this was going to be tied going to this, but the Knicks are just finding a way to pull it out. They're just finding a way to pull out these W's, and they've been playing Brunson's been playing out of his mind. So
yeah, Brunson, to say the least, has been crazy. The shot making in that last game in game 4 was fantastic. He's averaging 33 points, almost 10 assists. He's been great. He's been great. And yeah, Detroit, they are fighting their what's off. And I'm glad they got that win for the first time since what? 08?
I think it was 2008.
Yeah, they were on a 15-game playoff. Like that's like 3 sweeps.
Yeah.
And that's like 3 sweeps. So crazy. I'm glad they got that win. But yeah, they've lost the 3 games by a combined total of, what is that? 14 points, and the last 2 by a combined total of 3 points. So they're right in it. I don't think you can I think you can hang your hat on this series, and if you're a Pistons fan, and be like, you know what, first time getting back, what a jump this year has been, and you're taking this Knicks team to, which a lot of people projected to be in the conference finals. This Knicks team potentially to the brink. The Pistons could be up 3-1 just as easy if those 3 points go a certain way. You know what I mean? But I think Brunson's shot making, Cade's been great.
Yeah,
I think if you're a Pistons fan, I don't think you can be upset.
No, yeah, exactly. Like coming into the season, I don't think anyone really expected much out of the Pistons, let alone the 6th seed, let alone like getting a game in the first round, playing against the Knicks, and like they've been like you said, they've been highly competitive this whole series. It hasn't been like blowout after blowout. So if I'm a Pistons fan, I'm just taking this as a win overall. It's kind of like the Raptors next season. Hopefully they make the playoffs. If they win a few games, that it's a win in our books. So I feel like you got to take the same approach here. I don't think anyone expecting them to beat the Knicks either. Like you just gotta take the wins when you can.
But yeah, overall, it's been a pretty fun first round, even though there's a lot of 3-1 series right now. Like I said, I think the Magic have competed. Obviously, the Pistons have competed. So it's been a solid first round. I think the next time we do a playoffs check-in, it should be like a conference semifinals preview there. Yeah. So yeah, it's been fun so far, and I think it's been a fun episode.
I'm just hoping I come back next week and be like, hey, man, the Lakers tied it up 3-3. Let's go, man.
That would be crazy.
But yeah, it's a fun episode. I hope you guys all enjoyed watching this episode of Run It Back. I know we say it every week. Hopefully we got 3 of us next week. Maybe tune in next week. You'll see. But, remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you like this episode of Run It Back. If you like the content of Raptors Republic, we have more on the website, more on the YouTube channel. Be sure to check it out. And we will see you guys next week as we run it back. Peace.